burning down pretty good now. Just wasted all this time and effort. Let's give this another shot. Welcome back to another episode from Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. I'm Bill. Glad you could join me. Today I'm going to show you a trick to unplugging the sunroof drain tubes on a Jeep Cherokee. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back. I'm still working on my project here, making pretty good headway, and I removed the headliner. So I'm going to redo the headliner. I'm currently shooting an episode on how to do the headliner, and I'm going to reupholster the moonroof cover there too. So that episode will be upcoming. But the reason why I'm redoing the headliner, it was ruined by water leakage. This Jeep here, all of them may not be this way, but this has the moonroof in it, and has a weird design. This entire thing's like a bathtub up here. This entire unit, and water apparently goes in here, and there's 4 drain tubes. It's drain tube number 1 coming out the back of this assembly. There's another drain tube right over here, and both of these rear drain tubes go down these pillar posts, and then they go into the back, and I'm going to show you where they exit in the back side. And there's 2 up in the front. There's one right here that was painted the original factory red, and another one over on the other corner. So these act to drain this bathtub assembly here. Now what happens is, over a period of time, debris gets in there, bits of leaves, dirt, whatever, and it will eventually plug these tubes up. And when the tubes plug up, this bathtub assembly will fill with water, and it begins to leak over into your headliner. And of course, water and headliners aren't very compatible. So the headliner out, currently working on getting that. I'm going to be redoing that, but before that I wanted to of course get these drain tubes unplugged. Now this rig was garage kept, so it's actually really clean, and there's not a speck of rust on it anywhere. And as a result, the tubes are in good shape. The rubber's still pliable. They're not dry rotted. I initially thought I would have to replace these tubes, which I really wasn't looking forward to doing that. And I was very relieved when I got the headliner out and discovered that the tubes were in good shape. So then it just became an issue of unplugging the tubes. So what I did, I fashioned a snake, a drain snake out of some wire. I'm going to show you that and show you what I did to unplug these, and it actually worked really well. Now I did the two backs already, and I still need to do the two fronts. So it was the zip ties that were holding these onto these nipples here. And amazingly enough, I didn't even have to fight to get these off. The zip ties I snipped off. They're little tiny zip ties. The factory put them on and pulled them tight with a pair of needle nose pliers probably. That's what they were using as hose clamps. I'm going to replace those with small metal hose clamps and screw them on and tighten them down. Just a little added security for this. But these came off, and I used the hose, the garden hose, with a hand sprayer. I wrapped a rag around this, and there's enough slack here you can pull this outside. I got a little bit of water here and there, but it didn't hurt anything. And I bled the pressure off out of the hose with the rag wrapped around here, and I quickly put the nozzle to this, pressed it in tight, and turned it on. And as soon as the hose would fill up here, it would start bleeding over into the rag, and that was my cue. Okay, well, I have a plug. So I'd just take it and I'd stick it back on here. It took me a little bit to figure out where the exit is for these. You have to go to the rear of the vehicle, and I found that because there was a few water drips coming out. It took a little bit, and the water had to work its way down through the plug of water. But that is your drain tube exit. It has a flap of rubber on it. If you take your finger and move that, see if I get some light up in there. There we go. I guess it would help if I shed some light on the subject, right? There's a flap of rubber in here, and you can just pull that open with your finger. When I did that, I seen there was a plug of dirt and stuff in there, so I made, out of some flexible wire that I had laying around, I took the end and I bent it over and crimped it so there wouldn't be a sharp edge cutting the inside of the rubber hose. And just took it and ran it right up in there. You have to kind of move it around to get it past that flap. And if you already have water in there, don't be underneath this thing, or wear eye protection, because you're going to get dirt and stuff coming out of there. And I ran this up. Once I got it past the flap, I ran it up in there probably about a foot and a half, and I had dirt coming out of there and bits of stuff. You can see it's all down here on the ground, the dirt and whatnot that came out of there, chunks of stuff. And then I'll show you how I ran the water through and what it looks like when it's when the water's draining out of there. So I haven't located the fronts yet. I will though in a little bit. So let me go ahead and get you guys set up, and this is the hose and the sprayer that I was using. So I just turned it on and let it run to bleed the pressure down. I don't have it on very high, so I let it bleed down, and then immediately I'll put the hose, the drain tube hose, I push it in here, and it's just about the same size actually, with a rag around it, and you'll see the water coming out the back here in just a sec. So stay tuned. Alright, well that was easy. I didn't even have to unplug it from the bottom, which would be a little bit more difficult, but this is where it exits. Where are we here? Here we are. Exits right here through this hole. Shine the light up in there. You see the end of the rubber tube. So there's enough room there to get my little homemade snake in there if I had to, but it's flowing pretty good. I let the water run through it for a bit to make sure it was unplugged, and that's all there is to it. Oh, there's another little, I guess I better turn my light off here. There's another DIY tip in this, I don't want to call it a Jeep build, it's more like just getting things maintained and taking care of a number of issues. So hopefully I'll have this thing done by the end of the month and be able to get my butt back up in the high country. But anyways, I hope somebody out there finds this tip useful, and I hope all of you are having an outstanding day or night, depending on where you're located, and I appreciate your viewership. Everybody take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.